Om Shanti. Good evening. I want to ask you all a question that can you stabilize your mind? Can you sit in meditation without any disturbance, completely concentrated in silence? Can you hold your thoughts for completely 1 hour? Can you do that? Mm. Completely 1 hour. It's not that, you sit in meditation and then your mind is wandering here, there. You're thinking about this, you're thinking about that. No. Can you be that intense yogi or intense meditator who can sit and allow yourself to be in those vibrations and create those powerful vibrations for yourself? Can you sit and not let your mind wander at all? It's a very powerful practice because many of us don't have this habit of sitting for a longer period in meditation. We sit for some time, we are falling asleep. We sit for some time, and then we start to think about this thing and that thing. We sit for some time, and then we are caught in our own thoughts of what happened in the past or what you should be doing the next hour. But can I detach myself from everything, and can I just sit in that silence, in that powerful meditation where your mind becomes absolutely still, absolutely stable? And from that state of mind, it's as if like these powerful vibrations are emerging, and these powerful vibrations are not just helping you, but they're also helping the people who are around you. Then naturally, it's like when people come into those vibrations, even if they come with any waste thought or any negative thought, as soon as they are in your vibration, it's like they calm down. Naturally your mind is, it's like naturally their mind becomes so quiet inside. Also check yourself that how quickly do you react. Mm. Check yourself. That's what it actually shows, the state of your mind, how much your mind is powerful, how much soul power do you have. Mm. Right. It's like sometimes, very quickly, we can react, or we can go into judgments, we can doubt, or we can we can come into competition. All of these things, our mind keeps playing these games. But we really need this powerful meditation where, not even at a subtle level, your thoughts are distracted or disturbed towards anything. Can you have such a practice? Do you really want to experience that stage of not having any internal disturbance? And we all want that, right? When we have even few moments of peace, how good we feel that, I'm feeling these few moments of peace, and you really want to stay in that, you want to hold that feelings. And just think, if your mind creates an inner stability where your mind does not, even at a subtle level, it doesn't shake, it's just so quiet. They say, like, great yogis, when they leave their body, because the great yogis means the one who does a lot of intense meditation. When I say intense meditation, like what I'm saying, like, you sit in meditation, you sit for an hour and no distractions, no distractions. You're not bringing any thoughts of the past. You're not bringing any thoughts of the future. Absolutely stable in the present moment. And if you go into such deep, intense meditation, you generate a lot of power. And they say when people, when they have such great, deep, intense meditations, when the soul leaves the body, because there's so much in deep, uh, uh, in deep reflection, or in that deep silence, that when the soul leaves the body, it's like huge waves. These waves, the pure waves of silence, they travel like far and beyond. And so it's like when a great person, when a spiritual person leaves the body, it's like people who are around them, it's like they can feel the vibration. Naturally they're experiencing the waves of silence. Naturally they're feeling a sense of inner stability and calmness. That sort of vibrations one actually creates. Mm. And not only that, they say their vibrations are not just impacting human beings, but nature and animals as well. It's like, nature also sometimes becomes very quiet, with such soul leaving the body. Or nature sometimes, of course, it shows its upheaval too. Um, but then also animals also become very calm, they say. So it's, you know, when we have this intense meditation, we're accumulating a lot of inner power. It's like the soul power. When I'm accumulating that soul power, those vibrations are not just helping me, but they're helping others as well. And really, today, the world we are living in, so many souls need that support, need those vibrations. If I myself, if I am engaged in my own ways thinking and acting, immature from inside, getting caught up in this problem or that problem or this situation, when is that we are going to help others? Because others need our help. I cannot be that frog always in a well. I have to really look for who needs that. I don't even have to look for who needs help. It's just when I am being in that intense meditation, it's like in that intense stage, when I accumulate that power, then I'm able to help others. Maybe in my vibration, somebody is able to heal their fear. Just being in my company or vibrations, it's like their fear is gone. You know, just coming into my vibration, these vibrations may be serving somebody is feeling mental tension. Just with that pure vibrations that I'm holding, their peacelessness, their mental tension is, finishing. Or maybe somebody is very unhappy. Just, these pure vibrations are naturally helping that soul, to be happy or to be cheerful. So like that, in the world today, people really need the spiritual help, this support. Um, and so if we are caught up in our own problems, then how, meaning that if I'm caught up in my own fears, in my own tensions, in my own ways, then when am I going to become that soul who can actually help others in a spiritual way? So really think about it. And so today would like to introduce you to this word, and I think almost everyone knows this word, but for those who do not know this powerful word called Shakti, you know, this word Shakti is something very amazing. It's an internal power of the soul. Even when we say power, it still feels slightly, I mean, a bit um, slightly off from the pure. uh, feeling of Shakti. So when we really say Shakti, Shakti is like the soul power, you know. And so where do I accumulate this Shaktis? Really, when I have that intense meditation. Many times we think, oh, I'm meditating. Some say very easily, I've been meditating for 20 years. But then they say, my mind is still wandering. My mind is still caught up in things. I don't have peace of mind. But I have to really ask myself, am I really meditating? Am I really giving that time? And it's not that I would just meditate for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Try and see this. Try sitting for complete 1 hour. Guide your mind into the inner self where that power lies, where that Shakti lies. Each one of us has an internal Shakti around, inside, internal Shakti, inward Shakti in us. And so when I tap into the self, the soul, I can invoke that Shakti which is inside. And of course, and so that Shakti power can be used as they, to be courageous, to go beyond my fears, to really have no doubts in life. You know. So having that Shakti is like manifesting in the form of courage to cope with different things in life. So one is tapping into the soul and emerging that Shakti, but also um, connecting to God, the divine power who bestows that Shakti, who bestows that pure energy of power on the soul. And when I take that pure energy of power and that too in a concentrated way, it's not that 5 minutes I remembered, 5 minutes my mind wandered, 2 minutes I remembered, 10 minutes my mind wandered. No, if I sit, I have to really allow myself to detach. Recently, somebody was asking me a question, after saying the whole session, like she was asking this question, what else tips do you want to give me so that I continue this practice? I said, I can't give you any tips because it's up to you. I can sit here, tell the whole night and whole day about this knowledge. You have to be doing this and that. But if you don't have interest to do, and if you don't have love to do, then you won't do it. No matter who on earth will tell you and how many times will tell you to do it, you will not do it until and unless you feel that interest to do it. When you feel love for your practice, only then you will do it. And so that's what it is. That where I have to have that love, that interest to really sit down and no distractions really, and that's what is that intense meditation. If your mind is wandering, you're sitting for some time, you're doing, and then you got distracted, you're looking here and there, that is not meditation, and you do not receive any power from such way of sitting. Actually, the word meditation itself means it's a complete healing process. You're healing, you're transforming, you're accumulating power, the soul power. And so that's why when you sit, give proper time and and with a proper discipline or commitment that I want to sit this 1 hour without any distractions. And we can take out that time, you know. If you say that there is no time, weekends you take out, but have this practice of longer period of meditation. Give those longer hours of meditation where you're seated and you create an atmosphere where you don't get distracted and you sit and invoke that Shakti power inside you. you invoke, you connect to that source who gives that power. And that's when internally also, if you want to transform anything inside you, that's what gives you the power to transform. Without that, the internal power, many times we think, I want to change this in my life, I want to change that, and then I keep falling back into the same old pattern of thinking, doing, speaking. Why? Because there is no internal power of the soul. And so the soul also needs that power. When there is that power, that Shakti, then I'm able to bring an internal transformation. If I really want to do something and I don't want to fall back into the habits, the way I was and the way I used to do, I can bring that shift inside me. I can, do better and best. And so, one of the forms of this Shakti is courage. There are many manifestations of that Shakti, the power of love, the power of introspection. So, we have done two powers in last week, that is the power of introspection and the power to discern. And so, yes, it does begin with that introspection. And this is what I mean when you're sitting in this intense meditation, you are actually going inwards. You're having this internal introspection, this silence, which is generating, excuse me, this power. And so that is helping you to discern the right and wrong. And that's helping you to have the power of courage. And how important is this courage? And especially the world we are living in right now. There is a lot going on, and very easily we can fall into our doubts and fears. Oh my gosh, maybe this will happen. And fear is such a fire. Mm. Fear is such a fire that if one person has fear, it can catch to next and the third and the fourth, and then in no time, the whole atmosphere can become tensed, full of this negative energy of fear. And so we all experience in our life twists and turns. We all experience those storms in our life, right? And there is nobody in the world who can say that, oh, I don't have any problem, or which is good if I don't have problem, and if I can actually conquer and not just indulge in that problem and lift myself up and do something so that I can find a solution rather than living in a reason or in reasons. So this courage is definitely needed because we experience these storms, we experience dragons of fear, dragons of doubt in our life, and sometimes we just lose our faith when we don't have courage. If something little happens, I lose my faith. And today, especially this year, having this pandemic going on, people losing their jobs. I was just talking to someone, and people are losing their jobs and they're feeling hopeless inside, or people are experiencing, uh, you know, illnesses, and different kinds of things are happening. And I cannot say everything is fine with me. And when it is fine, it is good that I accumulate more Shakti so that tomorrow, when the examination paper is in front of me, when the test paper is in front of me, suddenly I have the ability to cope without losing my faith, because fear brings such breakdown of faith inside. When I say faith, meaning it's like, no more like losing hope. That's what I mean. Like losing faith is like completely losing hope. And I sometimes we also lose complete that hope and faith in God as well. that why this came to me, why this is happening to me. But really, time is signaling us now as much as possible, fill in that power inside you, and let that soul power, act as the power of courage inside you, that it doesn't easily make you fall um, into doubts and fears. Um, this is the time now, right now, especially in Eastern tradition, they celebrate something called invocation of Shakti. And so they have created these women who are called the goddesses or the Shaktis. And so each day for 9 days, they invoke these Shaktis, they worship the Shaktis. Women with the Shakti power of love, a woman with the Shakti power of fearlessness, and she can just finish any kind of fearlessness, and for which, she now, one thing I want to mention here is, now fear also comes from a lot of attachment. When we are too attached to things in our life, this mind consciousness, I and mine, wherever there is this I and mind consciousness, there is a lot of attachment involved around this I and mind consciousness, especially mine. Wherever I think it's mine, this attachment creates a lot of fear, a fear of losing it. And so to become a Shakti, it also means to create that power, to have that power of courage, also means that I'm letting go of, the attachments, or letting go of the past things that I'm keeping inside. Because until and unless I don't let go the past or let go my attachments, the fear is still sitting there. Naturally, you see yourself, wherever there is attachment, you completely are in fear of losing it. Wherever is my attachment, either it could be in the body, or in my relations, or in my possessions or position, and it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot internally when we lose something, right? When I cling to something and I think this is mine, and suddenly I see that it's going out of my hands, it's slipping out of my hands, and I have no control over it, because I have today, I don't have tomorrow. And it happens. All these test papers we get in life, twists and turns happen. And so the dragons do come. And so when that is slipping out of your hand, it's like there is so much of fear, and that fear is creating a lot of sorrow, of not wanting to lose it. I want to hold on to it so tightly. But the law of the nature is that nothing is permanent. I have something today, I may not be having that tomorrow. And so this is the game of life. But if I have really this powerful attachments, then that is never going to make me courageous. That will always pull me into fears. So really being this Shakti, having the power of courage, is to let go. So you may think, how can I let go? I have my family, I have my job, I do things, I have my possessions. What is this letting go? Letting go does not mean that physically you have to renounce everything and go and sit in the forest under a tree. No, that's not what I mean. But letting go from your intellect, because what I have today, I have it. Tomorrow I may not have it. But not having, letting go, meaning not having the consciousness of mine. In Hindi, it's a nice word, mera. It's like, mine. This is mine. So we cling on to, things thinking it's mine, but that's the consciousness I need to change. I have it and I will use it, but I can, have this sense of detachment. Now you may ask, it's not so easy to have detachment, and I agree. I agree that it's not so easy to have detachment, but that's where the whole practice of meditation comes in, a whole practice of introspection, going inwards, and have the deep, intense meditation, the deep, intense yoga, or the deep, intense connection with the soul and the divine. And that's where you get the power to be to be a trustee or to be detached. I'm using something, and yet I have this consciousness that I am a trustee. I use it because this is God's gift, right? So that sort of consciousness I can replace. But again, remember, all this goes back to your intense meditation. That's where you accumulate the Shakti, that is the power, and you become that embodiment of courage, who lets go, all the past and the fears. And it's a process, right? It's an everyday step. It's not that in a day, I've become a conqueror of everything. No, but this consistent effort is needed. This consistent way of doing things is needed, so that I'm accumulating that power to conquer something, that power to transform, that power where I can stabilize my mind and have no distractions, that power where the mind, even in a subtle way, does not get disturbed. Can can I make my meditation practice so deep that I can reach that stage where internally I have so much of stability? And that is also a form of courage, because um, uh, courage is not just external thing, right? We're talking about this internal thing. Absolutely, courage is something internal, that your mind is unshakable, your thoughts are stable, and that is actually the power, the courage actually. Because if something happens, our thoughts go here, there, up, down. So instability very quickly happens. But when there is the power of courage, you hold on to yourself, you hold on to your faith, you hold on to hope, you hold on to your truth, you hold on to the divine, you know. And so that the company of the divine is also very much essential. uh, because I do have that soul power, but that connecting to the divine is very important. And they say, when I take one step of courage, he's there to take me 1,000 steps. He does make the steps easier. So that's why also, like, they also talk about the story of khuda dost. They say, make God your companion, and when he is companion, life becomes easy, really. Even if there is any test paper, he's there to actually support, he's there to help me. But it's so easy, we put aside the things that are important, and we get engaged in things which are not really important. And so, like, sometimes we actually put off our meditation practice or our spiritual practice, because we get so engaged and caught up in some problem. But that's the time I have to meditate more, because if I meditate more, and if I can concentrate and I can do it at that time, whatever I'm experiencing, that will quickly go. But what we do is we keep our meditation practice aside. Let me deal with this. Let me sit and think about this days and days and days, and complain about it. This is happening. That's what we'll sit and do. And so what is happening is there is no Shakti power to deal with it. So I'm becoming more and more weak. And having all these waste thoughts, I'm becoming more weaker. And so one is that you are meditating when when it's quiet time, which is wonderful. Do it, because somebody was asking me this question that um, what should I do, how should I handle, what is the practice you will give to me, uh, to handle a situation better, or when I am experiencing any test paper or a problem, what should I be doing? But I said that won't definitely not work because when the test paper is in front of you, then you are thinking of studying or the answer. Will it work? No. You, without preparation, you're sitting in your examination hall, so you're trying to attend the test paper, so it's like that. So whenever you have this time, don't waste this time. um, do your, of course, your work, whatever it is, but do take out time for your meditation, do take out time for your reflection, do create this, accumulate this Shakti power, because we do need this right now, to face whatever challenges we have in life. And so this kind of power is absolutely needed. And it's not that I can't say when there is a problem, then I'm thinking I'm a peaceful soul. It won't work. It won't work because I'm so caught up in that problem or a situation. And so one is that when you have time, you're doing, which is wonderful. And even when there is any kind of storm or a situation, whatever it is, but still do it in a double way so that you're able to finish this. And so in the Eastern tradition, these Shaktis are worshipped in different forms, and the this the Shakti power of conquering the attachments is shown as Durga. Some of you know about it. And so she is this form that conquers all fears, conquers all attachments. And she's there as this powerful soul. So it's not just about going and bowing down to someone who has that, but can I become that myself? Can I invoke that Shakti power that I have? And we all can do it. We all can do it. So a little bit of discipline, a little bit of commitment and concentration is needed. So I really welcome you to join in this whole this practice of having more intense meditation, deepen your meditation, and take time and really sit down for 1 hour without any distractions. Go inwards into the soul, experience the power within, experience the divine power, so that you're accumulating that Shakti, that power within. Yes. And so um, that on Wednesdays we do a complete 1 hour of meditation. So Wednesdays, can you take that time and have no distractions? You can tell your family members that you really want to sit in this meditation, or discipline yourself and enjoy. You'll really enjoy it when you go more deeper into your spiritual practice or going within. Om Shanti. So if you have any questions or any thoughts, any comments, you're most welcome to share. Okay, so it looks like you all are content. You must be reflecting on your Shakti or your power. So wonderful. Thank you.